All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another review for TUF 30, episode 4. All right, y'all, another interesting episode. This was another one of those type of episodes where it just lets you know what's going on in life, behind the scenes, and just how the game goes sometimes. Last week, Amanda Nunes, she had made her pick for another of the flyweight fights for the females, and she had Chantel Coates taking on Brogan Sanchez, right? But once again, like in the professional game, the fight just turned into a whole different thing. I mean, as y'all know, unfortunately, Chantel Coates, she had to go home because, like they were talking about last week, she was having trouble making weight. She was walking around the house at like 155, 154, something like that. So this week, I knew that was going to be a big issue. And when they were talking about that last week, I was already kind of thinking, like, what are they going to do now? Because Amanda Nunes, she made her pick for Chantel Coates versus Brogan Sanchez. And I was thinking, okay, she's going to have 25 or so pounds to cut, 28 pounds, something like that. I was like, I don't think she's going to be able to do that. I think they might just have to pull out. But unfortunately, she had to pull out, but they also had to send her home since she couldn't make weight. She said she wanted to try, but, Rick Little, Juliana Pena, them being the nurturing type and also the realistic type, they let her know that that's not going to happen. They have to look out for the fighter's health, here. There's no need for her to try to make weight for just this exhibition type of fight. You know what I mean? Like when she could really hurt herself. Chantel Coates said she went through some things, the COVID, as well as a miscarriage. And it was just, her body was just, in a harsh place right now as far as for making weight in the fight game. She was really having trouble trying to make that weight. She was always doing her cardio, trying to up the cardio over the past few weeks, but that wasn't enough because even one of the other team members for our Pena, he told her that, hey, on top of what you're doing, you're going to have to lose 13,000 calories a day. All right. On top of what she was already doing, 13,000 more calories a day. So I was like, wow, there's no way. There's no way. So the best thing for her to do was to go home in this situation because there's no need to try to kill yourself, for a fight that's coming in a few days, trying to drop 28 pounds, that's like just part water weight, and then the rest, how you going to do that, right? So there's no need to try to kill yourself for that. Juliana Pena said she's seen people do it before with like 20 pounds, but it's just unrealistic. And Rick Little, he was like straight up, he said, like, I've never seen women at this weight cut that much. 10 was the most. But 25, 28 pounds, let's be real. She just wasn't going to do it. So she had to go home. So respect to Chantel Coates, for trying. But, it sucks that, she had to go home in this fashion. That's what I was saying. I was hoping, going into this show that she was going to be prepared all the way around. Just probably wasn't a good look to take that opportunity if weight was a big issue because, hey, weight, hey, that's the thing that's going to hold you back from even trying. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing, like, if there's a few skill sets that you're lacking, I mean, you could go in there, give it your all, maybe get a W, maybe pull through. But if not, you might take a L. But at least you got the experience to get in there, right? But she didn't get anything except, just going there and having trouble making weight and then just going home empty-handed that way, right? So there was no questions answered for her. So hopefully, she can bounce back from this. I think she does have a fight coming up for another organization like July 29th, not for the UFC, of course, but on a regional circuit. So, yeah, shout out to Chantel Coates. So she couldn't make it. But Juliana Pena, they let Amanda Nunes team know. They was like, hey, we don't have Chantel Coates anymore. She had to go home. So we're going to bring in another fighter. And Juliana Pena brought in a fighter that she was familiar with, Laura Gallardo. I've seen her fight a couple of times. Yeah, she has fought Helen Peralta before, beat Helen Peralta by a split decision. She's a very scrappy fighter, but she really came here and showed some new skills, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But, she's a very good grappler. She's real scrappy. She's real scrappy like that. But they brought her in as a replacement. So they let Amanda Nunes know. So Amanda Nunes, they were in like urgent mode. They were like, all right, hold on now. Like, we're going to switch the matchup up. We're going to switch the matchup because all the while, Brogan Sanchez, she has an injury. Brogan Sanchez has an injury during training. She's trying to push through it, I think through sparring, she's doing the bike and everything, but it's just a lot of pain there. So when she goes to the doctor, Nina and all of them told her, just take the rest of the day off and see how she feels. Then they sent her to the doctor. I think they said she had like a torn MCL, so they told her, best thing to do is just to sit out at this point. It's nothing too serious where she'd have to leave, but just to sit out. So match is just scrap. She didn't get a replacement fight. They just had to change the whole thing around. So now that they brought in a new fighter, Nunes was like, no, we don't want to put her in there with this type of injury against a style they're not sure about now. So now it becomes Laura Gallardo versus Kathryn Paprocki. Like I said, I've seen Kathryn Paprocki fight before. Kathryn, she seems like a pretty out there type of person. She has the open personality. She's a little different than Gallardo. She's a little bit more quieter. Seems like she's cool, but she's very serious about her game. Kathryn Paprocki, she's a little bit more open-minded. And like I said, you get to know these fighters a little bit more. Like, I didn't even know she had a stuttering problem. How would I know? Because I've never really seen her personal life. But whenever, like I said, when you get to see these people in the house, you kind of get to see what they're kind of going through and what they had to deal with growing up that kind of led them to fight. She, like I said, she has a stuttering problem. It's very light unless she's talking for a while. Like, you'll see it throughout the interviews when she's talking. She does have a bit of a stuttering issue, but she's a fighter though. She continues to fight on, and it's nothing like that serious that stops you from fighting. So it's not really like a big deal for her. But yeah, she's kind of an out there personality versus Gallardo. So they get to the weigh-in, everybody makes weight. And Gallardo, she was serious. Had a game face on, didn't shake hands or nothing. But the fight, man, I mean, this was a good one. This was a good, it was probably a good replacement, because with Brogan in there, probably wouldn't have got a full 100% Brogan against somebody like Gallardo. Gallardo probably would have hurt her because Gallardo, she went in there and dominated. No need for a sudden death. Gallardo went in there, got this fight, 2 rounds easy. She bagged him with some well-rounded skills. Like I said, Gallardo, she's scrappy, has a good ground game, but she went in here and set up her takedowns with some good striking. I mean, the first round, Southpaw versus Orthodox, Gallardo, she's in the Southpaw stance. She was just setting up some nice, stiff right hands, right jabs, and popping off her straight left hand right down the pipe on the chin of Paprocki. So that was waking Paprocki up. Paprocki, she was coming back with some good right hands of her own, some good single shots, but I like the connection from Gallardo. She was really setting those shots up, good 1-2s, and then she'd come back with her jab. And even like when she would shoot in for a takedown, if she couldn't get the takedown, she would end it with a punch, with a good right hook, or she would come back with a good leg kick. So she was mixing it up on her, and she got some good takedowns this round. She was really shooting in. She was really aggressive and shooting in and just taking down Paprocki with, these double legs and getting her in top positions where she couldn't really move. Like, I think at one point, Gallardo tried for this guillotine, but the way Gallardo just broke out, she just made it look simple. So good first round. Second round, again, Gallardo, she just set it up with some nice kicks, inside, outside leg kicks, just really smacking that lead leg of Paprocki. Then shoots in for another takedown, very aggressive, just landing some good ground and pound, put a hematoma in the eye. Another submission attempt, I think it was like in the second round from Paprocki. I think she tried to lock in. I can't remember if it was an arm bar or a triangle. But again, Gallardo, she just turns to her left, shifts out of position, and boom, she's out again, and she's on top position, side control, and just dominate, just really smothering anything Paprocki had. So dominant performance, no need for a third round. Gallardo, she came in hungry, and as a replacement, so far she's looked the best in my opinion. Looked better than Caitlin Neal, and definitely better than Helen Peralta because she lost that fight. But definitely seen a lot of improvements in this girl's game. She came in serious and ready to go. So yeah, definitely 2-0 fight. So far out of the women's, it's just only been one other fight. This was probably the better showing from Laura Gallardo. But yeah, man, another good episode. Like I said, not a lot of drama yet with Pena and Nunes. I mean, we're 4 deep now. They haven't really had those type of exchanges. Who knows? Like, Nina might be trying to calm Nunes down from going at it, but maybe that just ain't on their mind. Maybe they're just really trying to focus on the fighters because that's how Pena is. Again, I had to post another picture here because Pena just seems to really, really to care about her fighters. She just seems like that type of person. So I always have to bring that up every episode because it hasn't changed yet. I be looking at people to see if they have like those moments where they're flip-flopping, but nah, so far Pena, she's been kind of true to it. She really cares about her fighters. She seems really disappointed that one of her team members had to go home. So, she brought in somebody that on the underground circuit that she's been watching. So she seems really, really real with it. Amanda Nunes, she's cool with her team too. She seems a little bit more technical. Like the things she's giving away are like jewels and things like that. She's giving away some gems, like when she's in there working, like everything about positioning, hand positioning and head positioning and how to strike. She's that type of, she's that type of instructor and trainer. She's kind of like that coach that's very technical with it. She's like that computer right there that's anything you need, boom, she's going to give it to you, and she'll show you a diagram on how to do it. So I can't say that it's a bad style of training, definitely not, or I can't say, she has to be like Pena. No, definitely not. Everybody has their style. I just kind of favor, from a viewer standpoint, how Pena rides with her team. You know what I mean? But, hey, to each their own. Some might prefer the way Nunes does it because, the way Nunes has been champion a long time. So, the way she's doing it, there's definitely something to it because she's giving you what she would do in there. She's like, hey, hold the head like this or, extend the arm this way. She's really breaking it down to you on how to make certain moves on the ground. So, you got to respect that. And, she's coming in with that hunger. All right. So, yeah, overall good episode, guys. Lori Gallardo so far, I think, coming in as a replacement, she's really made her stamp to make all the girls say, hey, okay, we better step our game up, because she's really taking advantage of this moment. So right now for me, she's one to look out for. I still need to see what the other girls are going to do, like Juliana Miller and so on. But I'm looking at her. It sucks that Brogan Sanchez had to have an injury because, yeah, she was one of the other ones that I've been looking at too. But as for the next fight, who we got? Eduardo Perez in the heavyweight division versus is it Maximus? I think he was on TUF season 2. Yeah. So that was like almost 20 years ago. Yeah, because he's the oldest guy there. He's the oldest guy there. I think he's like 42 years old. So, he has something to prove. So, yeah, we'll see how that one matches up, guys. But if you haven't seen the episode, yeah, definitely check it out. If you want drama, there wasn't really like a great deal of drama. But if you just want to like see the back, the backstories and, like the behind the scenes of somebody going through weight issues and injury issues, this is it. And if you want to see a good fight, Gallardo and Paprocki, they came to scrap, definitely. So yeah, guys, let me know if y'all saw it. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.